Welcome back to the channel. It's been about 2 weeks since the last video, and that is because I've took a little bit of time off for myself. I don't do it very often because customer cars always take priority over whatever I do, holidays or whatever. So there was a break in play, whereas Tony, the Supra owner, was looking into other options of maybe finding another shell, or he was struggling to find parts. So it gave me a little bit of time to have a play with my own projects. As you know, in the last video, we took delivery of Matilda, and you know all about the voodoo that car involves. I'm not a fan of it because everything seems to go to shit every time I try and do something with it. But you know that Christine became a thing, and we've been busy. I did say we've been busy. Christine is now a running and driving car. She's had Matilda's heart and soul put into it, but hopefully not the shell that always causes the issues, because even when it had the original engine in Matilda, things always seem to be a little bit skittish. So what have we done? Well, as you can see, Matilda has lost the bonnet because we've repurposed it for Christine, because I didn't think I was going to build this car. What I did was I started building Martha, the MX-5, and this got put on hold. People were saying, oh, you're braking. I need a little bit of funds to go and build Martha. I needed some parts, i.e. turbo stuff. But then someone come along and bought Martha and saved me all the agony. And then I bought Matilda back, and I'd already sold bonnet, bumper, headlights, etc. off Christine, which now, in hindsight, was probably not a good idea, but it is what it is. So, if you probably noticed, I'm speaking a lot more clearer because I've invested some pennies into new materials and new equipment, i.e. mics. So I've got the new Hollyland Lark M2 mics, which are highly recommended. I'm not sponsored by them in any way, but when you buy something and they're good, as you can probably hear from the difference in sound quality, it's worth mentioning. So, I also need to cut "so" as a buzzword out as well. Here we have it. Look how nice that sits in there. It wasn't as simple as just swapping everything over, because there was things that I would love to have changed, and I did change positioning on some certain things like mountings, etc. I had to modify the subframe on this one because I didn't want to steal the one off Matilda and that not be a rolling car anymore. So I went about stripping everything off that I needed and reworking everything on this car. And there's also another big thing as well. I've always had issues with the Pro Race shifter, and it's not the shifter, it was the cables. The shifter cables in this car was the O2J ones out of a Audi A3 20 valve turbo, and that's what I used. Then I tried Golf ones, which are exactly the same, and I had a really stiff shift, and I could not get the car into gear for love nor money. It would go into gear, but not without a fight. So now this thing is as smooth as butter. It's nice and stiff, but not in a horrible kind of way. It's stiff in a nice, manageable, sporty kind of way, like a nice quick shift. So it's doing its job. And the cables are from a Fabia. Who would have thought? So as I mentioned, it wasn't quite as straightforward as just swapping everything over. Obviously this is a Clio 172 and Matilda is a Clio 182. And this is an early 172, so it's an O2 plate one. So it runs the speed sensor from the gearbox, whereas Matilda is a 182 and she runs from ABS. This car does not have ABS, so there's a problem. I'm trying to figure out how to get the speedo to work, whereas it worked with no issue on Matilda. I've actually de-pinned ECU wires off this car and I've used Matilda's wiring loom, which was plug and play, apart from it doesn't have a speed sensor plug. So I've de-pinned some of the plugs from the ECU and some of the pins, and I've sort of wired them into the ports, into the ECU and the white plug, etc. for signal. And it should be working in theory, but it's still not. So what I'm thinking is I have a faulty speed sensor in the gearbox. So I'm trying to figure that out. So one's going to be on order. There's a few other little bits and bobs which have changed. Obviously the exhaust was poking out of the back of Matilda through the back bumper, and I have reworked it now so it is a Stealth. So there she is, just tucked up there. So she's kind of a sleeper. I've ordered paint so I can paint the bonnet, and I'm also not going to be using this bumper because this is a bumper that came with the car when I bought it. Then we had the breaker car, which we showed you a couple of little videos on, where I stole the bumper off that, which was a nice tidy one. And this one has that big horrible hole in the side. I'm not about that life because it actually does nothing for me. When the F7R engine was in this car, it had a Clio V6 airbox and the air feed was going out the side of the bumper, but we do not need that anymore. I've upgraded to a Pro-Ram filter on here. And yeah, everything so far, apart from speedo, has been really nice. It's been nice to drive the car, and I've literally been hooning around with it for about a week now. Also changed the wastegate. It's got a brand new Mamba wastegate, which makes all the choo-choo noises, etc. But this car is very, very fast, and it's faster than whatever I remember Matilda being. So yeah, as I said, we've been busy. So I still need to sort some of the wiring out. The Mega Squirt ECU, which runs everything, all the comms and stuff, for boost, ignition, fuel enrichment, etc., is tucked away nicely underneath the dash. I still need to sort out these cabling, but I'm thinking about sticking a carpet back in here because it's very, very loud. And we've also got a matching set of AMP TRS E-seats, which are nice and comfortable. They're sort of a budget seat, but they match and they're very comfortable. They're more comfortable than the Sabelt that was in there. So yeah, she's starting to get there. And it's just nice to be able to use a car how it should be used. As I said, I have to have a fast car, and this is fast in abundance. And it does exactly what I need it to, which is put a smile on my face and sort of shit me up a bit because it's deceptively fast. Power wise, needs to go back to Dale and get looked at. I've got a set of Audi R8 coil packs to be wired in to the ECU, so we'll be getting rid of the Clio coil pack. It's served its purpose, but we want it to be nice and tidy in here. This is like the first iteration of this car. There's a lot of body work we need to do on it. As I said, I bought paint, so I'll be painting the bonnet and tarting that up a bit. I'm going to steal either Matilda's bumper or another bumper that we've got and paint that black and just get this nice and tidy and respectable and sort of looking like a trackable sort of sleeper. There's something that you'd see that just looks nice, but you don't think nothing of it too much, sort of understated. But a lot faster than a standard one. So there you have it. This is Christine, and she's now a living, breathing car again. And if you need to know anything in the comments, please just drop a comment and I'll try and explain everything I can and answer your questions accordingly. And yeah, little cheeky video for you. Do you know what? I'm just going to show you. I'm going to jump in the car, I'm going to hook my phone up on my phone holder. It's going to be shaky, it's going to be noisy, it's going to be a bit disorientating, it's going to be all over the place, but nothing you wouldn't expect or experience anyway when you're in the car at any point. So let's go. As you can understand, it's very loud in here. The engine bushes are Land Rover rear trailing arm poly bushes, and they're almost solid, but you don't want the engine flapping around, so the vibration is quite substantial, to say the least. So just leaving the unit now and getting off the farm, and miraculously my speedo started working, so I must not have been going quick enough to get it to register on the clocks, but it seems to be working now. So well, I'm going to try and give you a bit of an experience of what this car's like. I've actually bought some action cameras, but having a play with them yesterday, they're shit and probably not even worth hooking up and setting up. So I think I'm going to be investing in some GoPro cameras like I should have in the first place. So I'm going to have to stick to my trusty iPhone 15 Pro Max for now, and try and see without you bouncing around on my car phone holder. I hope you can experience what I have to when I drive, and it's not too bad to watch. Right, so I'm going to try and find a little bit of clear road. Thank you. Fuck me. This car is fucking ridiculous. Woo! The noise of it though. Fucking moves around a lot. So do you by the look of it. Sorry about that. This thing, when I say this car's scary, I'm not lying. Yeah, this car's no joke, literally no joke. Do I need any more power? I don't think so. This scares the shit out of me. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to drive it, because I'm a bit of a mad bastard. You literally have to hold on for dear life, and it's like lighting up in third. It's a gnarly thing. I definitely need a diff. I hope you can hear the orchestra that's going on. This sounds wicked. And when I actually figure out my camera situation, that you can actually see what's going on in front. Disgusting car. Literally disgusting car. Full concentration. And this is a pretty epic road as well. So there you have it. Meet Christine, the rolling coffin. I told you this car was fast. If anyone's thinking about doing a 20 valve turbo conversion in a Clio, I 150% recommend it. Just don't skimp on it. I mean, this thing's took me a week to put together, but it took me 3 years in the making when it was in Matilda. And it was worth every second to have this feeling. And my God, that shifter, now I've figured it out, is epic.
Jesus, madness.
Ridiculous, ridiculous car. So, time to get her back home now. And it's a little cool down so she can drive normal on the way back to cool her down a bit. It has got like a little Civic radiator. I've used it for years when I was into my Hondas, and it seems to be holding up very well. I mean, there's no temperature issues, etc. I'm running a Spal fan, and they're not cheap, but they definitely do the trick. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you enjoyed watching me literally shitting myself to the seat. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.
Peace.